You meet someone at the well, not by accident. Your mother sent you there at a specific time because she knows his mother also sends him at that time. This is not romance. This is reconnaissance. Two families assessing whether an alliance would be beneficial. He nods. You nod back. Neither of you speaks. Speaking would imply a choice you do not have. You return home and tell your mother you saw him. She already knows. She has been negotiating with his mother for 3 months. This is a relationship in the Middle Ages. And if you think it has anything to do with love, with choosing, with feelings mattering at all, you need to understand something immediately. Relationships are transactions. Every single one. Before we talk about marriage or companionship or anything resembling affection, you need to understand what a relationship actually is in this world. It is not two people finding each other. It is two families finding mutual benefit. Two economic units calculating whether combining resources will improve survival. Your feelings are not part of the equation. If you are noble, your relationships are decided before you can walk. A daughter is a political tool. A son is an alliance maker. Marriages are arranged between families who may live in different kingdoms. You might meet your future spouse once before the wedding. You might not meet them at all until you stand at the altar. The negotiations take months. Dowries, land rights, inheritance terms, military alliances, every detail is calculated. You are informed of the result, never consulted about the process. Your father shakes hands with another father. A contract is signed. Your life is decided. If you are a peasant, the calculation is simpler, but no less cold. Relationships are about labor. Can two people working together produce more than two people working separately? Does he have access to land? Can she manage a household? Will this union benefit both families economically? You do not date. That concept does not exist. You do not spend time getting to know someone. You see them at church. You see them at market. You see them working in adjacent fields. And one day your father tells you that arrangements have been made. The courtship, if you can even call it that, is supervised and brief. You might walk together once with family watching. You might exchange a few words at a gathering. You learn nothing real about each other. How could you? Every interaction is performed. Every word is calculated. You are both playing roles in a negotiation neither of you controls. And then comes marriage, the binding, the point where two strangers are legally fused into a single economic unit. The wedding is not about celebration. It is about witnesses. People need to see that vows were made, that the union is legitimate, that any children born will be legally recognized. In early periods, you do not even need a priest. Two people agreeing in front of witnesses is enough. Later, the church inserts itself, making marriage a sacrament, a holy bond that cannot be broken except under the rarest circumstances. This serves the church's purposes. It ensures stability. It prevents the chaos of people leaving relationships when they become difficult. It binds you permanently to choices you never made. And then you go home. To a life neither of you designed. If you are a woman, marriage erases your legal existence. You become property, not metaphorically, legally. Everything you own becomes his. Any money you earn belongs to him. Any inheritance you receive goes to him. You have no right to refuse him anything. Not your labor, not your body, not your obedience. The law is clear. A husband can discipline his wife. What that means varies. Some men never raise a hand. Others beat regularly, and there is no authority to stop them. It is considered private, a household matter. Your family might intervene if they have power and choose to use it. Most do not. Your world contracts. Before marriage, you might have had some freedom of movement, some ability to see friends, some time that was yours. After marriage, your husband controls where you go, who you see, what you do. If he is jealous or controlling, you might spend years barely leaving the house. If you are a man, you gain authority but not necessarily happiness. You are now responsible for another person's survival. If crops fail, you must feed too. If illness comes, you must care for someone while maintaining all other obligations. You are expected to control your wife, manage the household, produce children, and never show weakness. Neither of you chose this. Neither of you knows the other. You are two strangers trying to build something functional from a foundation of obligation. The first months are adjustment, learning habits, learning moods, learning what angers, what pleases, what can be safely ignored. You do not talk about feelings. That would be pointless. You talk about work, about what needs doing, about practical matters that keep the household running. Intimacy is expected but not prepared for. No one explains what happens. You figure it out through fumbling and discomfort. For women, it often hurts. No one cares. This is duty. For men, it is right. Your right, her obligation. Pleasure is not discussed. Connection is not anticipated. And then children are expected. This is the point of marriage. Continuation, heirs for nobles, labor for peasants. Your body exists to produce the next generation. Pregnancy comes quickly for most. There is no reliable prevention, no understanding of cycles or timing. It just happens. And when it does, everything becomes more complicated. For women, pregnancy is terror. You have seen women die in childbirth. Everyone has. Your mother's friend, the baker's wife, the Lord's daughter. It does not matter who you are. Childbirth can kill anyone. There are no doctors, no hospitals, no understanding of infection or complication. Only midwives with experience but limited knowledge. Labor can last hours or days. Some women tear, some hemorrhage. Some develop infections that kill them slowly over the following week. If you survive, you are expected to be pregnant again soon. Noble families need multiple heirs. Peasant families need many hands. You spend your fertile years either pregnant or recovering. Your body is not yours. It is a vessel. For men, pregnancy means anxiety. Will she survive? Will the child survive? If she dies, who will manage the household? If the child dies, was it God's punishment? Did you do something wrong? There are no answers, only worry. And through all of this, love is simply not discussed. But here is the complicated part. Sometimes it happens anyway, not often, not in the way stories pretend. But sometimes, two people forced together by circumstance find something real. It grows slowly, over years, small kindnesses that accumulate. Shared grief over a lost child, shared relief when a harvest succeeds, the comfort of familiarity. You learn each other, not through conversation, but through proximity. You learn he is gentler when tired. He learns you hum while working. You learn to read silences. He learns to anticipate needs. It is not romance. It is partnership forged from necessity. Some couples develop genuine affection. They work together efficiently. They support each other through hardship. They grow old together with something resembling contentment. They never call it love, but it functions as something close. But this is not the majority. Most endure. They perform roles, husband and wife, father and mother. They share space without sharing selves. They live entire lives beside people they never truly know. Some relationships are prisons, a husband who drinks and rages, a wife who resents every moment, years of cruelty, coldness, mutual contempt, and you cannot leave. Divorce is nearly impossible. The church opposes it absolutely. Annulment requires proof the marriage was never valid and political power to push it through. For everyone else, marriage is permanent. No matter how bad it becomes, no matter how much you suffer, you made vows. Those vows are unbreakable. So you endure. Outside of marriage, other relationships are equally constrained. Friendships exist but are limited by work and survival. You cannot spend afternoons with friends when fields need tending. You cannot prioritize companionship over obligations. Friendships between men are slightly easier. They work together. They drink together occasionally. They share information about crops and weather and local disputes. But vulnerability is not permitted. Weakness is dangerous. You keep relationships surface level because trust is risky. For women, friendships are vital but restricted. You see other women at the well, at church, at market. These moments of connection are precious. You share warnings about husbands. You trade remedies for illness. You support each other through childbirth and loss. But you cannot be seen spending too much time together. Idle women are suspect. And then there are the forbidden relationships, the ones that ruin lives. Affairs happen because people are people, even in a world that tries to control everything. A woman and a man who is not her husband, the risk is enormous. For women, the consequences are severe. Public shaming, physical punishment, confinement, sometimes execution. For men, the consequences are lighter. A husband's affair is wrong but rarely punished with the same brutality. Some men keep mistresses openly. Some father children outside marriage. The double standard is absolute. But affairs are rare not because people do not want them, but because the danger is too great. Discovery means destruction, so most people comply. They stay in the relationships assigned to them. They perform their roles. They find what small happinesses they can within the constraints. Parent-child relationships are equally complicated. You love your children, but you cannot afford to love them too much. 1 in 3 will die young. Attachment is dangerous. You provide for them. You teach them to work. You prepare them for the same life you live. But you keep emotional distance because loss is expected. Children are workers as soon as they can walk. A small child can feed chickens, gather eggs, watch younger siblings. By age 7 or 8, they work alongside adults. Childhood as a protected period does not exist. You are small, then you are working, then you are an adult with your own obligations. Parents arrange their children's futures the same way theirs were arranged, not with cruelty, but with practicality. This is how the world works. This is how survival happens. Feelings are luxuries no one can afford, and yet, sometimes in quiet moments, something like tenderness appears. A father teaching his son to plow with unexpected patience. A mother singing while her daughter learns to spin. These moments are brief and rare, but they exist. Small proofs that even in a system designed to eliminate choice, humanity finds cracks to grow through. This is what relationships look like in the Middle Ages. Not romance, not partnership by choice. Obligations performed, roles executed, people learning to exist beside each other because separation is not permitted and solitude is not survivable. Some find affection, some find companionship, some find nothing but endurance. But almost none of them find what you would recognize as love. Because love requires choice, and choice does not exist here. So when you imagine medieval relationships, do not picture courtship and devotion. Picture strangers bound by law. Picture two people learning to share space without sharing selves. Picture children raised with practical distance. Picture friendships squeezed into margins around endless work. Picture a world where relationships serve survival, not happiness. Where connection is functional, not emotional. Where people spend entire lives beside others and remain fundamentally alone. That is relationships in the Middle Ages. Not stories, not romance. Arrangements that might become tolerable if you are lucky, unbearable if you are not. And escape is never an option either way.